What's up, guys? Fellow trailer nerd Jacob Crabb checking in here at DFAB, or Diamond C's Dump Fabrication Facility. Today what we are looking at, what we're discussing, are loading do's and don'ts on dump trailers. This question, this topic comes up pretty often online, and it really has to do with the payload capacity of dump trailers, the cubic capacity inside of the dump trailers, and kind of the, I don't know, is conundrum the right word? Like the place that users get put in with dump trailers, especially, if they're newer users, right? The more experienced guys, they've kind of either learned it the hard way or, have experienced using the trailer and what their trailer can or can't do. It's a pretty sensitive subject primarily for scissor lift trailer owners, which we've built, over the years. We've built tons and tons of scissor lifts. They work well. They're just a little bit more sensitive to how the trailer is loaded. Now, we, in the last few years, have worked to, evolve away from scissor lifts to the front-mounted telescopic, because they're not as sensitive to front load or the load not being just right and it not lifting. It's cold hard engineering fact that the way the telescopic is mounted on the front, it's crazy powerful. The trailer's not as prone not to lift, as I said a while ago, but nonetheless, still staying in the capacity range of your dump trailer. So like this one I'm standing with right now is a 14-foot dump trailer, 24-inch sides, which is the standard side height. Trailer weighs 4720 the way it's spec'd out, meaning 14,900 minus 4720. You've got just over 10,000 pounds of capacity to be able to put in this dump trailer. Now, especially with a scissor lift, now going back to scissor lift, just because there's so many out there and it's a very common thing with them, scissor lift trailers, you've got support. The lifting point, let me get back at it, the lifting point is back here versus telescopic up front. So it's right in this area. So any weight you get further forward of that scissor lift up in this front area, you may have 10,000 pounds of capacity, but that's definitely on scissor lift, a distributed weight that you need to make sure that that it's even. Like, if you get calls, man, my dump trailer won't dump. Well, let's see, what did you have in it? What were you trying to dump? Let's talk through, is your battery charged? There's some basics that, we go through. I mean, everybody like, you got that troubleshooting kind of basics to walk through, but battery's good, it's hot, I charged it, but it won't dump. Well, you end up looking and the load is too far forward on that scissor lift, that it won't dump it. Again, with telescopic, not as common. But then you have the factor of the tow vehicle, and where you're using a 3/4 ton, a 1 ton, how much tongue weight. It's still good practice to have that weight distributed, no matter what kind of lift mechanism you have it distributed the length of, the length of the dump trailer over the axles, and just for wear and tear on tires and suspension and brakes and all those things. Let's try and load the trailer more evenly, kind of over that front, the center of the suspension, the front axle, through that area, making sure we're loading it evenly. Sometimes, I get it, I've been there, done that. Sometimes we end up with it front loaded. Nature of the beast, you're at the dirt pit, you got 3 guys behind you getting loaded. That guy on the loader is just blowing and going and loading, and you end up front loaded. So it is what it is. But what I would suggest is take a few minutes and Google different material weights. You've got sand, you've got gravel, you've got fill dirt, you've got mulch, you've got all of these different types of material that users, just like you, just like me, haul on the daily basis. They're hauling to job sites, they're hauling to the farm, they're hauling these different places, and they vary, really, really broad variation in weight per yard. So you go from mulch that's, say, 400 to 800 pounds a yard, up to, you got fill dirt and sand, that are as much as, I say as much, they're 2,500 to 3,500 a yard, and even more depending on the moisture content. All of this stuff, pretty much everything that you talk about hauling in a dump trailer that you're going to dump out, varies due to moisture content. If you've just had rain, if if it's naturally a sponge that soaks up moisture. Gravel, typically not. It dries out quicker. It's not going to hold a bunch of moisture, but when you got sand and dirt and things, holds moisture like crazy. And so you need to really study those things, because that can help inform you. If you're looking for a dump trailer, that can help inform you on what kind of volume requirement inside the bed, aka what hot sides you want. And if you already have bought a dump trailer, it can help you use it more effectively, more efficiently. And you'll be able to kind of learn, like take notes when you go to the yard. It was filled up to this point about here, and this is what it weighed, so you can eyeball, when you're at the yard and they're loading you, before you even go back across the scale, to know, hey, I'm either overloaded or I'm not. So, I mean, PSA newsflash, like go Google all the different types of material that you may possibly haul. It's just good to know. It's good information. So back to that, if you're looking for a dump trailer, or you already have one, but depending on what sides, so there's 24-inch sides, there's 44-inch sides, which is obviously almost double, and then we actually have an in between of 32. Dump trailers are a tricky thing. They're not a if it fits it ships type scenario, because you think about it, say the 24-inch side dump trailer is it 7 yards? 7 yards, I think is what it is. Something like that. You got sand that weighs 3,000 pounds a yard. That's 21,000. 7, 14, 20, Texas math. 21,000 pounds of material in a 14,900 trailer. That's not working when you only got 10,000 pounds of capacity, 10.2 by the sticker. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, so a 14-footer is 7.1 cubic yards with 24-inch sides. So say you go to, for quick math, you go to 44-inch sides like this guy, and that's almost double. So say it's 12 and a half yards. You got to make sure of what your side height is versus the capacity or the payload or the carry capacity on your trailer before you just go throw dirt or material in there or gravel, because very quickly you can get out over your skis, get overloaded, in a dump trailer. The dump trailers are built the way they are to give a margin of versatility, right? To where that, 24-inch sides, I can easily still overload this trailer with dirt, but it can double over if I'm a contractor hauling, doing tear outs and hauling sheetrock and cut studs and all the things that you would tear out of like a remodel job. I can do both of those really well, but and that would be the perfect fit, and being able to work in over the sides easier, versus the taller sides. But if I'm hauling primarily debris or hauling primarily mulch and lighter things, the taller sides are definitely the way to go. You just have to be very conscientious when you're if you're going to go get a load of dirt with a 44-inch side dump trailer, be conscientious of how it's loaded. You want it the same principle. You want to stay, loading it distribute evenly, but you just got to make sure that they're not going crazy, overloaded just because the sides are tall. And of course, if you go up in GVWR capacity, we have the base 14.9, 18,000, 20,000, 24,000. And we have these other GVWRs that do allow you to haul more. You just still have, same rule applies. Be conscientious of, what your trailer's rated at, the capacity of it, which on all Diamond C trailers starting January of 2022, the weight of the trailer is on the VIN sticker. So when you go to look at the trailer, or you've bought it and it's in that time frame, you know exactly what you can carry. Like this one is this one's a 16 foot. It's got 44-inch sides, and it's weighing at 6570, 18,000 GVWR. I've got 11.5 by the sticker. Is that right? Yeah, close to 11.5 by the sticker on this one that I can put in it. So again, I encourage you, just education, education, education. All it does is there's a couple of key things. Being educated on the work that you do, safer. I mean, everybody wants to go home at night. Nobody wants to cause anybody else any harm, any issue. It's safer, it's more effective, and also it makes long run, it actually makes you more money if you're using your trailer for work, because it's more efficient. You're not prematurely wearing out suspension components. You're not prematurely wearing out tires, blowing tires, all of these things. Your investment lasts longer if you put a little bit of forethought and planning into it and make sure that you're operating within the limits of what the trailer is, intended to haul or dump. So there you go. I hope this was informative. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Anything that we missed on this topic, drop them in the comments. I do want to touch on, we were talking about scissor lift. We've evolved away. We still have a model that has it, the DOD. Coming months, we are actually transitioning it to telescopic as well. So, one more thing is the longer the trailer, especially the longer the trailer with a scissor lift, but the longer the trailer, I didn't talk about length. You get to a shorter trailer, even especially with a scissor lift. Telescopic, again, is not as it's not as affected by the length as a scissor lift would be. But the shorter the trailer, usually more powerful. Longer the trailer, a little more prone to front load or overload. And so definitely pay attention to that. For years and years, guys with the longer scissor lifts, oh my gosh, this is so much room, I should be able to haul X amount. And then they're disappointed because they have loaded it wrong, or just not known the facts going into it, because maybe they just went and the dealer had it and the dealer sold them on it. Ask the questions, ask the questions of the dealer. What's the best for what I'm needing to do? And then if that trailer still is deemed the best, what do I need to know about it to make my work, I guess might say easiest, make my work the most efficient. So appreciate your time today, and we will see you on the road.